Hello, my brothers and my sisters. Hello, my Arsenal future heights. How you all doing out there? I hope everyone's feeling good. Everyone's fine. Uh, yes, we're here again to speak about Arsenal and our latest victory against Chelsea, 2-1 at the weekend on Sunday, the 1st of March, to be precise. And yeah, good start to the month. And our, March that elusive 22-year wait for the title is on, but we know that Manchester City are breathing down our necks. Before I go on any further, please touch the like button. So smash a touch and a like. You can use your finger if you've got a button, one of your button phones, or if you use your laptop. Just use your mouse. It doesn't cost a penny to subscribe to our channels, to like our videos. So please like and subscribe. As always, I've got the icon there so you can see. It's so easy. Hype it if you can. I don't know if you can hype my videos actually, but I think you can because somebody told me that they hyped it once. So if the hype option is there, please use the hype option. Also share the videos all around the social media platforms, and you can leave your comments in a box down below. I mean, it's so simple. You can't really miss it. It's all self-explanatory. And so thank you so much for the subscribers of late and for the reviews, which are getting higher and higher, and your comments. Yeah, so Arsenal won 2-1 at the weekend against Chelsea. I remember the years when Abramovich, in the Drogba era, when Mourinho and Drogba and around that era, I remember Chelsea used to beat us all the time. And that's when, after the Invincible era, when Arsenal in a bit of transition, we just moved to the Emirates and, we had some soft touch players. And Chelsea used to bash us all the time. But now, the shoe's on the other foot. Now, Arsenal are doing a bashing, the Chelsea. And I think normal service is resumed because we are the bigger club. That's well, it's not debatable. We are the bigger club. Chelsea have got 2 Champions Leagues, but we've got a much more longer and a much more successful and victorious history than Chelsea. It's only really Manchester United and Liverpool have won more than us and have enjoyed more sustained success than Arsenal. So yes, I'm proud to say that. We scored our first goal in the game by William Saliba in 16 minutes. A corner coming in as usual, Declan Rice corner, and Gabriel, his defensive partner, headed it back, and I think he outjumped Reece James, Reece James is a solid player, but Gabriel outjumped Reece James and headed it back across goal. And then at first I thought the ball was going to go out for a goal kick because the curl was really strong. And I thought, oh, that's going to be a goal kick, or it's going to be a goal kick to Chelsea, or Gabriel is going to probably head it over. But in one excellent move, he headed it back, which is very clever, a very clever thing to him to have done. And Saliba was right there to head it in. I think that's Saliba's first goal of the season. I got to check that, but I think it's his first goal of the season. I stand corrected. Yeah, but Saliba scored our first goal on 16 minutes. And at the stroke of half time, the game in the first half was a little bit, in my opinion, a bit flat. But I think Bukayo Saka did quite well in the first half without really, really thoroughly threatening Chelsea. When he got the ball, he looked like he was willing and able to take players on, to have a shot, and so on. But he didn't quite penetrate Chelsea in the first half. He played much better in the week before against Spurs. But last weekend against Chelsea, in the first half, he was okay. And the second half, he disappeared. But I still think he's carrying an injury. I personally think he's carrying an injury. But he's playing in pain, and he's playing in a bit of discomfort, and also he's playing out of form. So, and I thought that's why we bought Noni Manriki to give Saka a bit of a break, but it hasn't worked out that way. And Noni Manriki's playing quite well actually, without really setting the word like he's okay, but he needs to work on his final ball and his end product. Anyway, on the stroke of half time, Reece James' corner, I think it came in this time from the left, and one of our best players in the whole match, some say he was our best player in the whole match, Pierre Nketiah, who's more or less going to sign on a permanent contract now from Bayer Leverkusen Fun enough, we got them in the Champions League next run, and we're going to talk about the Champions League in the coming days because we're playing them next week. And he scores an on goal to make it 1-1. Chelsea back in the game, and it's crazy because we should have scored a couple of goals by then. I think Yoko has had a chance. And who else had a chance? I'm not sure who the other player was, but I was in and out. I had a TV on, but I was in and out. I was very busy on Sunday doing some. I had to do some cooking for the crew, and so because you got to keep the crew happy. And I was in and out, and but every time I seemed to come out the room, an incident happened. But anyway, 1-1 stroke of half time. I was a little bit disappointed, but I always thought that we could come back and score second goal against Chelsea because we're at home and we've got the Indian sign over Chelsea. So I thought, yes, we could score another goal and win the game 2-1. And funny enough, that was my predicted scoreline, 2-1 to Arsenal. And I was supposed to upload a preview, wasn't I? But I couldn't do the preview because, as I said, I was in and out and so many chaotic things happened. I got some phone calls as well from friends and needed help with things. And I was just, it was really chaotic. Normally on Sundays, it's very peaceful. But this Sunday was very chaotic. So I was not able to actually upload, the preview of the Chelsea game, which I apologise for profusely. I was going to say something else. I don't think I was going to say it was the phone. I don't know what's wrong with the phone. It's taking ages to load. It really is taking ages to load. So I'm thinking of getting a new phone and a new system. And I've got sometimes I load my videos on my laptop. But because we've done that, it's quite a big place, but it's not as big as I want it to be. So we're looking to move again maybe next year. So this will be our first year in this new place. Because I like when I come to the office, we've got a lot of space here. And sometimes our crew stay here as well overnight when they're working long hours. So we need a bit more space, maybe get a second room. But anyway, we'll take what we've got, and the laptop is audio on the other side now because we can't even leave it out because of the lack of space and we don't want it to get damaged. So there's a few things still going on in the background. Hence why we haven't done any lives yet. But the lives will come, don't worry, I promise you that. But anyway, we scored our second goal to make it 2-1, our winning goal to make it 2-1. And midway through the second half, or just before midway through the second half, on 66 minutes, Kieran Timber, one of our best players of the season, even though Kieran Timber hasn't been playing well for me since the start of the new year, he's been playing out of position sometimes. Sometimes he's playing on the left. I've even seen him play sometimes in midfield. But really, he's a right back. He can play in the centre sometimes. But really, his best position is as a right back. And he scored a winning goal from another set piece, another corner, to make it 2-1 to Arsenal. And about 4 minutes later, in 70 minutes, Pedro Neto for Chelsea goes and lunges at Gabriel Martinelli, who comes on as a substitute in the second half. Lunges at him in a breakaway and gets himself sent off. And so Chelsea have got a bad discipline problem because they've had quite a lot of players sent off this season. I'm told they've had 8 players so far this season given their marching orders. And so Pedro Neto was the latest one. I remember the game in the league, the 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge, when Caicedo got sent off a few months ago. And now this time in the corresponding fixture here now, Pedro Neto now gets sent off. So Chelsea have got to look at their disciplinary problems. I remember we had something similar years ago, but that's for another program. That's for another show. And yeah, so we went on to win 2. But the funny thing is, and the funny thing was, a lot of people. I had a friend who was at the game, and he said as soon as Pedro Neto got sent off, it's almost as if to say that Chelsea went into the ascendancy. It's like we gave the ball, we surrendered possession, and it allowed Chelsea to come at us. So it looked as though Chelsea were the team with 11 men, and we were the team of 10 men, even 9 men, because we couldn't keep the ball, and then we kept giving back to Chelsea, and Chelsea were coming at us, and they had a goal disallowed, I believe. I think it was Raul Pedro up front. Had a goal disallowed for offside, but some were saying that he wasn't offside. They were saying he wasn't offside. I've seen it over, and he did look offside. But it's something I've got to look from. I've got to look at it from various angles. I've only seen it from one angle, and he did look offside because one of our players was here. Then all of a sudden, the ball comes to him, and then our player disappeared. So I think at the moment when he received the ball, when the ball came to him, Raul Pedro, I believe he was offside in that moment. But when he finished it, there was nobody around him. Our defenders had pushed up. So that's why maybe to some it looked as though he was onside. But I think initially when he received the ball, he was level. So, oh no, he was not quite level. He was behind the defender, so he was offside. That's why the referee, the linesman, gave it. So I think that decision was right, and we got a let off there because we've been getting away with it. I think for the last 2 weeks. But Spurs, I've said on the last video that we need to tighten up at the back. We need to look at what we're doing more carefully at the back. We need to get back to that solidarity we had at the start of the season, and even midway through, around just before Christmas time, when we were very, very solid at the back, when we weren't conceding many goals. Now, all of a sudden, now we look a little bit shaky at the back. We look a little bit, as my dad would say, we look a bit suspicious. They look a bit suspicious at the back. So we've got to tighten that up. Whatever it is, we have to work on it in training. Arteta's got to start, looking at our defensive play again, because that's what's kept us up top for much of the season. And all of a sudden now we're becoming very, very loose and ill-disciplined. So we need to get back to that. And if we get back to that, and of course add with our forward play, and see what happens, and hopefully it seems like we're going to stumble to the top rather than just leave everyone for dead in the water for the title. We're stumbling over the line. But as long as we get that title, I'm not bothered. Maybe next season we become better. We sign some more flair players, and then our game would have expanded. Our gameplay would have evolved and would have expanded, and we'll start to play the free-flowing football that we all know and love, especially when Arteta first came to the club. The football then was a bit better than it is now, but he's got a plan. He wants to win the league, and even though I don't think he's the right man for the job, I've said this many times on this platform, I don't think Arteta's a man. If he wins this title or wins the Champions League, I'll start to change my mind about him. But at this moment in time, I still have my doubts. He needs to get us over the line. And I want 2 trophies this season, or 3. I want the title and I want the Champions League. I want the 2 big ones. A bonus would be one of the cups, if FA Cup or the Caribou Cup. But I really want those 2 big ones, because we've never won the Champions League. The biggest club to have never won the Champions League is Arsenal. And we've gone 20 odd years without winning the league. That's the longest we've gone without winning the league for a long time, probably since the 40s or the 50s. So yeah, it's a long time. So we need to win that. Anyway, guys, I think I leave it there. I want to talk about Arsenal and success and what it will mean to win the league. And I want to do like a one-off show next week. It's not the usual prediction and review show, preview and review show we normally do, but we normally the preview and the review show that we normally do. But I want to talk about a few things relating to Arsenal and the recruitment from head to toe, the management, the owners, and so on. And I want to do it. It might be, I don't know if I can go live. I'll have to check with the rest of my team to see if we can set set everything up so we can do a live stream, so we can become interactive with you guys. You guys can join us, send your comments through, and so on, and we can converse together. It might, or maybe I'll have to just do a recorded video and upload it, and then you guys can watch it, and then you can post your comments. We'll see how it goes, but it might be around maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. We'll have a look and see. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments, hype, share everything. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Good win for Arsenal. We're going marching on. It's a little bit nervy, but as long as we get the 3 points, and I'm going to come up later on with the preview of the game against Brighton. Another nerve-wracking game. We have to get this win because City have got Forest at home at the same day, on the same time, and you just know that Forest are going to get stuffed. I could see City winning 4-5-0. So we've got to go to Brighton and get 3 points, pick up 3 points. Guys, I'll catch you later. I'll see you soon. Adios.